I born in Baghdad, Iraq. I came to United States in 1973-74. I went to Persian High School, and then from there to OCC, Maradi Church, the L shape was OCC. Then I went to Oakland University. I studied political science. I majored in international relations. And then after that, we got into store business, liquor stores and tobacco shop. I have a partner, his name is Jadan. I used to go to OCC at that time, about 30 years ago more. I used to go to OCC in the morning. I leave at 12 o'clock. I get to the store at 6 Mile and Gratiot at 1 o'clock. And then my partner Najib, he worked for GM, and he go and he come back 12 o'clock at night. And we close 2 in the morning. I stay like this for about 8 years. That's the hard worker. That's the hard worker that we see in the people today is not taking this. And one time I have 3 liquor stores and 4 tobacco shops. And I run them all. I learn how to do business, how to survive, how to be patient. If you have patience, I think if you decide and put goal to yourself, you're gonna reach it. You're gonna reach it. For example, with Comcast, they refused me about 5-6 times before they give me the channel. But when they refused me, I said, okay. Sat back, after 6 months, I go to them. And because of the TV, I established a lot of connection. Because of the TV, not because of Wally Jadan. And then it was a turn around in 1990 for me to go from a grocery and tobacco shop, liquor, to be more professional. So I bought MEA TV in 1991, and then I opened a real estate company called Great Lake Realty. We opened insurance company, we call it Great Lakes Insurance, and we opened mortgage company called Long One Financial. And of course, all those companies, I have advertised it in MEA TV. And this is the reason of buying this company and opening these companies. So we started, as I mentioned, in 1991 with 2 hours. Within 5 years, I made it 5 hours. 3 years, I made it 5 hours. And within 5 years, we made it 24 hours. And at that time, honestly, we worked 12 hours, 13 hours a day to produce a program from 2 hours to 24 hours, or 5 hours to 24 hours. The problem we have at that time is the dish. With bad weather, and for example, in Michigan and Chicago and Minnesota, New York, half of the year you don't have signal, okay? And because of that, we were looking some way, somehow, we contacted the Dish Network. And we invited the Dish Network to Michigan because they wanted to know why they losing business to the small boxes. And I sat with the chairman, Michael, and I mentioned to him, you have the satellite on the roof, and half of the year there is no signal. Plus, you cannot put it in offices, you cannot put it in condos, you cannot put it even in a renting house. He said, what's the solution? I said, AT&T came through the internet. Why don't you do that? After 2 years, after negotiating me and Dish Network, they came with a Slink. And the Slink is growing unbelievably. Because as I mentioned, the satellite, half of the year you don't have no signal. And if your office and all that, you cannot. But the Air TV, start with Roku and then the Air TV, you could put it in any house, in any office. Just you have Wi-Fi and you could. And now we have about 140 channels. We are the only channel of broadcast in the United States for 31 years. Of course, we had many channels in here, and the last one was Al Jazeera, and they were in the same building at the National Press Building, and they left. We become the only channel of broadcast in the United States cater to the Middle Eastern community. If you watch MEA, 85% of our program cater to the local issue, if it's in Michigan or nationwide, And those channels come from the Arab world, and with all the respect to them, of course, but they cater to their issue, to their country's issue. When we do half-hour story about them, and we put them in TV, hundreds of thousands of people watch them. And that's good for us to be part of them, and good for them because they'll have a huge audience. I have a lot of relation in the Arab world. And that's when I wake up in the morning, I see 60, 70 email already. Before COVID, I used to visit the Middle East every 6 months. You know, I go to Jordan, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Lebanon, Egypt. And last time I went to Morocco, it was in January before COVID, after COVID, but in January. I did interview with the head of the parliament inside the parliament. Today, corporate America, local, state, and federal agency, they use me as a vehicle to reach the community. We're lucky that we have very important community, very important. And corporate America and local and state and federal agency, they want to reach this community because they have the spending power, they have the business, and they are target to all those organizations and companies. When I came, of course, I didn't speak English, you know, but I forced myself. In my store on 6 Mile in Gratiot in 1978, I think we bought it. They're all Italian. I learned English from there. I learned English from associate with people. When I went to Oakland, I had a store in Waterford. And my sister Thyra, she's in San Diego. My first cousin married to her and she moved to San Diego. I used to come around 4 o'clock so I could close. And I come tired because I woke up early. And she said, you know what? Why don't you go home and have rest? So I have good opportunity, good people with me to help me. God blessed me with good people. And thanks God for that. In '79, we went to Iraq with part of the youth from all over the world, Iraqi youth from all over the world, so I was there. But I mentioned before COVID, I toured the Middle East. I went to Kurdistan 4 times, you know, but not to Baghdad, which is, I had a lot of invitation to come to Baghdad. Baghdad is completely different. You know, where we live in Bataween, and then we moved to Ghadir. We built a house there. We stay only a year and a half, and then we came, you know, to America. My father worked for BBC Petroleum in Basra. He stayed there with them 25 years. And then when they nationalized the oil company, he sat at home for 2 years and they pay him full salary. And then after that, they told him you could go to Australia, okay, or to England. And we sold the house and everything, going to Australia. My uncle, God bless his soul, Naim Zoma, he said, no, would go anywhere. We come to America. Within 1 week, we changed everything. We went to Lebanon, we stayed 3 days, and then we came to America. And my father was speaking fluent English, British style, because he worked with them for 25 years. Honestly, today I don't remember much. I remember a lot about Kurdistan because I went, in the past 5-6 years, I went 4 or 5 times there. What I did about 20 years, I got involved with the American political and social and economic business. I got involved because of the TV, you know, and I seen the life different to me, you know. I seen the opportunity. A lot of people tell me, how you grow like this? What you did to have? We didn't have enough money. You know, my family brought at that time, about 80,000 dinar. And we bought a house, or we bought a store, you know, and 6 like. But all the money we made it here. We made it here. And I mentioned to you, 7 years. I go in the morning to school. From there, I go to the store. And then my partner go to GM. He come back at 12, and we close at 2 in the morning. 7 days a week. Anyone who I invite here for an interview, if it's some congressmen, senators, mayor, first we talk about what they do in their job, and then middle of the interview, I bring them to the Middle Eastern community, and I accept, and I tell them about their involvement and how they feel about the Middle Eastern community. I did an interview with the mayor of Chaldean, chief of police, and he was telling me the largest ethnic minority in Chaldean are Chaldean, and we are very proud of them, very proud of them. That makes me feel good, you know. I associate with a lot of ethnic minorities, like with the African American, with the Latino, and I attend a lot of meetings that cover all ethnic minority.
Over here is my playlist. I broadcast this to Slink, and this is to my TriCast and app. I always wanted to be in my dad's business. I always wanted to take over my dad's business, whether it was a store or the TV station. But you know, when I was in the store, I used to go with him, you know, in the store,
Tobacco shop.
do the liquor shop, and tobacco shop, you know, it's to go with him and help him out. But when he built the TV, you know, he switches gears, I switch my gears too. and I'm glad it happened really early on, so I was still in school and be able to study to implement it in my future. Since I graduated high school about 15 years ago, I came straight here. I learned hands-on, all hands-on. I had people here with me, and I learned all hands-on. So here I know how to do it, and I got my own experience how to do it. I didn't learn from other people. I taught myself and all hands-on.
Experience make you perfect. You know, as I mentioned, if an electric engineer go to a car after he graduate, he look at the engine, he don't know what to do. Mechanic, he could take the engine out and put it back again. So experience make you good. And 30 years is, you know, two people asked me the same questions. One of them, our bishop, our beloved bishop, Mar Ibrahim, and the other one is Imam Mardini. And they asked me, do you know what you have in your hand? Do you know what you own? I said, yes. We cover all the event for the National Arab American Organization. You know, we were inviting to the iftar for the Ramadan. You know, because they consider us as Arab media. Yeah. Thanks God that we are here. Thanks God that we have the freedom in a country that give us all the freedom and opportunity. Like many Chaldean or Middle Eastern, you see him advancing entrepreneur. They wouldn't have this chance back home if it's Iraq or Syria or Jordan or, you know. Thanks God. And we always feel sad about our people living there under very, very bad situation. So people that live in America, they should thank God for that.